I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty well. I have early start, so that helps out a lot because I get out of there pretty early, so that helps. So this was a kind of impromptu live, even though I scheduled it before 7. I scheduled it for 7:15. So if anyone stops in, I'm happy if they stop in. And then actually the team replay. I enjoy the comments. I love the comments. I appreciate the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. And tonight, any time I'm online, everything is it's covered under the Copyright Act of 1976, Section 107. And these are just my opinions. They're expressed for entertainment purposes only. Sometimes education, but it's just my opinion. I'll go through a few current event topics. I was going to pull up the chat, so if anyone drops down into the chat, I can comment and speak to you down in my chat. Okay. Now there are a couple of stories that I found interesting. There's one piece of news that I just wanted to give people. If you're a Costco member, hey Mama Bees, happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I'm glad to see you. And I was just starting out, just had an impromptu live. So if anybody comes in, I'm happy to have them. But this is good information if you're a Costco member. I just joined Costco this year. We're no longer Sam's members, we're Costco members. So this is a gentleman who left a note on Threads, and he says, Costco members, listen up. He just shopped at a Costco near Phoenix, and the cashier told him to contact member services. He says his wife usually goes, he rarely goes. He thought he was behind on dues. I don't know if that's possible. I guess you're just not a member if you're behind on dues. But the customer service lady found out he was owed 6 years of rebates, everybody, and gave him $785. $785. His contact information was not updated, and the customer service told him that Costco has over $1 million in unclaimed rebates due to outdated contact information. So make sure that your information is updated. That would be great to go in there shopping. They pull you aside to customer service and you got $785. And then in Threads, there's a ton of people confirming what he said, giving the different amounts. One lady went in there, had $260, but her rebates were so old, they just gave her a store credit, which is great. I take a store credit. So Costco is really that store. Costco is doing the thing. I like them. Every time I've been there, it's clean. The employees are friendly. And of course, with current events, it's good to shop where they would hire you, good to shop where they would treat you fairly. So that is a bonus for Costco over some of these other companies. In my opinion, Walmart, in my opinion, Target. There's too many of them to name. So Mama Bees came into the chat and she's speaking. She said, Happy Friday. And hello, T. Lee. Thank you for joining a live. I appreciate you being here. I'm glad to see you. Sharon Gobble, hello. I hope you're doing well tonight. Everybody's speaking to each other. I'm glad to see everybody down in the chat. So that was some good news. Some people getting some money back from Costco. Hopefully, if you have unclaimed rebates in there, you go in there, update your information, and be able to get some money back. Okay, there was another kind of good news. Well, it depends on whether or not it is good news to the company involved. And I hope I can find this quickly because I was just looking at it and it made me laugh. Okay, they showed. Let me see. No, I don't want to actually. Yeah, I'll do that next. I'll do that next. There's no real there's not a soundtrack with it. Let me see. I don't think this will turn. I'm on my iPad, so it's hard for me. I can't actually share it the way that I would if I were on my the laptop. But what you see this young man doing, he's packing up Jack Daniels. Some of you might have already heard this story. And Jack Daniels is an Orange Clown supporter. They also removed DEI from women, veterans, seniors, minorities. And also with the tariffs. So Jack Daniels is being removed from shelves in Canada. And that's what they get. Like my niece and nephew said, that's what you get. So they're removing Jack Daniels from the shelves. And the president of Jack Daniels put out a statement. He said, this is worse than tariffs. This is taking the profits. I don't feel sorry for you, sir. You have to consider all of your actions. Because I think that the Orange Clown is so used to being a bully and surrounding himself with yes people and yes men. As we can see on the show, I used to I admit, I used to watch The Apprentice years ago, and it would make me laugh because I never saw anybody stand up to him or tell him no or anything like that. But I think he thought these other countries were going to take tariffs lying down, and they're not. And every day he's announcing, well, I'm going to do an exception for these people because we're getting along good. He did that with Mexico because she stood up to him. Now the Canadians are, they're standing up, and I'm happy to see everybody that is doing that do it. T. Lee, yes, I'm from New York. I'm from Yonkers, New York, but I have been, UNC Charlotte is where I went to college. I found my first job here and I stayed here. And the funny thing is, a lot of my family started moving down. I just have two siblings that are not in the state yet because I moved to North Carolina years ago. I call it home, but yeah, I am from New York. Mama Bees, I am reviewing Traders. I did not see the latest episode yet, so I'm going to watch that tonight and then do a review for that. But yes, I do have some Traders reviews up. What part, T. Lee? Oh, you're in DC now? Yeah, New York. I love New York. One thing I loved about Yonkers was we had the 4 distinct seasons. We had spring, summer, winter, fall. I was talking to somebody about that today because I'm in North Carolina now, and it is cold today. And now they're saying it's going to be 70 degrees tomorrow. So I miss having distinct seasons. Oh, Mama Bees, I can't wait to watch this. Yonkers, T. Lee, I have to see if we know each other. Are you Gen X too? I'm Gen X. I went to school 18 up until the 6th grade. My high school was Gorton. I won't give too much detailed information, but my high school was Gorton. So we lived in South Yonkers for years until we moved. Angela A, how are you doing? How you doing, Angela A? I've never asked you, anybody, T. Lee or Angela A, if you want to be moderators, you are welcome to be that. Roosevelt, oh, okay. Yeah, I have a lot of friends that went to Roosevelt. And a lot of friends that went to Yonkers High before they shut down. But yeah, I was Gorton. I walked to Gorton, and then the last year or so, they changed it to where we got a bus, but it was still walkable. You know how hilly Yonkers was, though. Oh, Mama Beast is in the DMV, too. You know what? We have to do like an East Coast meetup or something. I want to speak with the other ladies. Now, Drop the T is actually she's out. Is Milwaukee considered Midwest? I'm not sure. But she's the farthest away. But Sassy T is close. She's right in South Carolina. Tea Talk with Your Girl is, I think she's considered the DMV. She always says Maryland, but I think she's considered the DMV. But that is something that we want to do. We want to do something where we can all meet up. Hey, lady, I'm good, and it's good to see you. Yes, Angela, if I could see you, I'd say the same thing, but it's good to talk to you. Yes, I miss seeing you, actually, and talking to you. And let me see. Let me see if I can make you. Oh, you know what? I can't do that here, but I can do it in, I forgot I was on StreamYard. I got into StreamYard so I can put the banner up. But this is funny. On the iPad, I can't really share. So there was really no need of me being in iPad. The best stream that I have has been when I go directly through YouTube. But I had a few topics. Let me see what other topics I was going to do. Is anybody watching the new Megan Netflix special? The people I've talked to that watched it, they seem to like it. I'm gonna watch it because I love watching things that are just light and easy and not stressful, any of that stuff. Because there's a lot of stuff going on in the YouTube streets that I don't like to be involved with. And I see my friends having to answer things and kind of getting a little bit upset. I don't like that at all. So Mama B's Upper Marlboro, is that considered, do they have like a lot of seafood there? We have a cruise going out of Baltimore in the end of June. So I don't know how far that would be. Maybe we could plan something like a meet and greet or something like that. I think that would be good we'll bring that up during the dropping, during one of the panels that we do with Real Housewives of Atlanta, dropping Extra Sassy Tea Talk. So we would do that and then see how many people we can get together, what we would do. Okay, what we could do to plan. Hey, Sheila Joe, how are you doing? I hope everything's going well for you. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping into the chat. I had a quick impromptu live because I haven't been able to see everybody, talk to everybody. And there was, there were a few topics that I was going to cover. We could also talk about some of the shows. I haven't seen the latest episode of Traders, so I didn't get to see that. Now, Survivor, I did a quick review for that. That is getting good. It's only second. Oh, you have lots of seafood? Okay, I think we should do something like that. Just something that's key to the area. try to get some of the people together that we kind of communicate with within the different chats when we see each other on the YouTube streets. Just a little unofficial get together. I think that would be nice. I'll start talking about trying to plan that. Let's see, what else did we talk about? Okay, not traders. Excuse me. Now, for those of us on the YouTube streets, I didn't watch Queen Sheba's interview with Marquez from formerly of Love and Marriage Huntsville, but apparently he has been fired. I was on the live today. Thank you so much, Angela Allen. I appreciate that. Angela Allen just sent me a cash app. That was so sweet. Thank you. But they had a live today. And of course, Carlos King came up again because he's a producer out here on a lot of the shows that we watch. And he's been wreaking havoc for a long time. She had an old interview that she brought from Fox Soul. It had Claudia Jordan, Al Reynolds, Funky, and Carlos King. And they were interviewing him. And he was talking about the Southerners on the show. To me, he was being really not even shady. He was out and out saying that he called them country. He said there's nothing else to do in the South but have sex. He was really rude. And he felt like he was above them. And so I don't know how he's still going to have people supporting those shows, especially cast. Luckily, a lot of the cast have walked away. To me, mainly the biggest loss is Melody Rogers, because I know whomever is over OWN, I don't think that it's OWN. I think everybody's saying it's Discovery, but they're not happy about that. And the show has not been renewed. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. Thank you, Capricorn Flower. One of my mods is saying, please hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button. Everybody that's in the chat, thank you so much for dropping down into the chat. The Bush Dwellers, thank you so much for stepping into. You don't have to come in the chat, but thank you for pressing the like button and being in the bushes. I appreciate that. Okay, and I'm going to let's see what other topic I had for you. Okay, now this is from Threads. We had Kamala Harris. I talk about her usually weekly because she did a nice little post, as she usually does. I follow her. And she was just reminding us of today's the anniversary of Bloody Sunday on the Selma to Montgomery march. And they were met with violence and beaten terribly on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. John Lewis suffered injuries that he carried his whole life. And he kept his seat. He's kept his seat in Congress right up until he passed away. And people jumped down under her comment. She put an old picture of herself visiting the Edmund Pettus Bridge. But as people have been known to do, that 47%, they like to enlist Black women to go back to work. They're down there telling her why she's not doing more to save the democracy and all this kind of stuff. And of course, 92%, I do approve of this type of protest. They eating those people up. You're down there telling them, leave this lady alone. She tried to take the job. You didn't want her to have the job. And they said, nobody, here's why we won. She owes nobody anything. Deal with the misogyny and racism within your families and communities and fix them before making any demand. Rest and enjoy your private time, my forever president at Kamala Harris. So those are just some of the comments that she's getting. And I agree. I'm back at work as far as my physical job, but any of this, the political stuff, I talk about the things that impact us and just give information as I have it. And then sometimes you just want to talk to people about it and kind of vent a little bit. I don't let any of that show at work. I'm in a job it's union. And a lot of the people are older people, but some of the union people surprisingly are Orange Clown supporters. And they're just now getting around to where they're getting a little bit afraid. And I overhear a lot of the conversations. I don't weigh in. I talk to the people that, I know what they already think. And so we kind of fellowship together when it comes to that. But these other people have made their bed and they want everybody laying it with them. But all we can do is what we've been doing. Let me go down here and read a couple of comments. One of my mods and my sister, Trish 612. Hello. She came into the chat and waved. Exactly. Capricorn Flower, thank you. This is Michael Jackson. This is my favorite era of Michael Jackson, actually. This is Off the Wall with the feet. Actually, I had the actual album of the Off the Wall with the fro. And then when it was worn out, so I'd gotten a new one, but not even the album. I gotten a new CD, and they ended up sending me one. He took another cover with just like the feet, and that didn't fly for me. I found a picture. My sister made fun of me for that. I found a picture of the original one, the original Michael Jackson with the fro, and I put it on Off the Wall because the feet cover is not the cover. So this is my favorite era of Michael Jackson, Off the Wall. Capricorn Flower speaking. Hey, Rain Bass, thank you for dropping down into the chat. Thank you for joining the live. It's good to see you. So that is what Kamala Harris is doing. She's chilling and she's minding her own business. And everybody is defending what she's saying. I didn't watch the State of the Union. I couldn't watch it. I couldn't deal with that. I talked to a few people about it that saw it, and they said it was just a mess. And Al Green, Representative Al Green. I don't see Linda Gamble in here. Well, also Angela A. You might know of Al Green, Texas representative. He screamed to save Medicare, which is not anything controversial. I think Medicare should be saved, save Social Security and Medicare. And they escorted him off the premises. Now, we remember those other two ladies, the trailer trash used to jump up hollering all the time at Joe Biden. And that's why I get mad at the Democrats sometimes. They would never do anything. Even that time during President Obama when Joe Wilson from South Carolina yelled out, "You lie." And they didn't do, Nancy gave him a dirty look, but they didn't do anything. They should have censured those people and had them carried out because that's what they did to Al Green. And then they held a vote to censure him. And 10 Democrats had the nerve to vote along with these people. So hopefully every single one of them will be primary because I don't like Hakeem Jeffries better get on his job. He better get that house in order. They shouldn't have had any Democratic votes. That was disgusting. Angela A said exactly. Yeah, that's too much. People, one side is not playing by any rules. They're doing whatever they want. They're running over everybody. And then the other side is trying to be adult and play by certain rules. But that's crazy. You can't do things to people and then tell them how they need to respond. And that's in any area of your life. You know, I try to tell the little kids I have access to, my nieces and nephew, I volunteer at the school. We have field trip coming up. And that's something that a lot of even little kids are being raised to do that now. They want to say whatever they want to say. If you say anything back, it's a problem. Or they want to tell you that, you hurt their feelings or something like that. But if you want to treat people a certain way, they're going to respond however they're going to respond, and you just have to deal with it. Like when I started out talking about the tariffs, Orange Clown wants to put a tariff on countries, and then when they retaliate or defend themselves, now everybody's crying about it. I love seeing Jack Daniels come off the Canadian shelf, and I hope they don't go back because I know they have Canadian liquor. There's actually a Black company, I think it's called Uncle Nearest. I have to find it. But evidently, Jack Daniels was a stolen recipe from an enslaved man, and that happened a lot. Sharon Gobble, I can't watch anything with the Orange Man and his circus crew. I know, it gets so depressing. Linda Gamble, how are you? Welcome to the chat. Thank you for stopping in. Linda Gamble is one of the moderators. Thank you so much, Linda Gamble. She's actually, I consider, a moderator extraordinaire. Thank you. Reen Bass is speaking to everyone that has come in, which is Mama Bees, Capricorn Flowers, Trush 612, Angela A, T. Lee, and Sheila Joe. And Linda Gamble is speaking as well. Yes, Sandra P, that's the name of it. Uncle Nearest, okay. I'm not a big liquor drinker, or whiskey. That would be whiskey. I would get that to support that company. Oh, I see one on here right now. I see the comment. Not the comment, but one of the stories I wanted to talk about. Stephen A. We know Stephen A. Smith. He's supposed to be a sports commentator. He's kind of branching off into politics a little bit. I can't stand him. But he was having words with LeBron James after the game. People were speculating what it was about. And it turned out being about Bronny. He's been making fun of, this is LeBron James and his son Bronny, who was drafted by the Lakers, but I hear he is in the G League, which is like a developmental team below the Lakers. I don't have a problem with Black nepotism, y'all. I'll tell you that right now. People like Blue Ivy, anybody that can put their son or their daughter on, I don't have a problem with it because the others have done nepotism for a long time. And for some reason, not everybody, because we're speaking about LeBron James and people like Beyonce. For some reason, some of us say things like, they're going to get it out the mud. No, you should be able to set your children up for success just like anybody else. But evidently, Stephen A. has gotten really personal in his criticism about LeBron and about Bronny. And so LeBron had words with him. And then some of the comments were saying, well, that's a grown man. He's 20, 19 or 20. but they're saying that's a grown man, and that LeBron shouldn't approach Stephen A. But I don't have a problem with him approaching him. Mama B spoke to Linda Gamble. I would have said something to him too, because I find Stephen A. and I have watched him off and on. He speaks too loudly. I don't like people that talk that loud, and I don't trust him either. But he is a bully. He's always, when he's criticizing the black athletes, I find that he is a lot more robust and kind of like performing for a certain audience. I think that's why he wants to go into politics as well. He wants to kind of grift and get some of this money that's out there. Welcome everybody in. Please like, share, subscribe, and thank you to everybody in the chat and in the bushes. So that was another thing that came up. I want to see if I can find a picture affiliated with this story. I saw two really nice ones today. Well, maybe I'll just play this music. I can't play this long. You know who that is? That is Tony, the Dwayne Wiggins from Tony. The one with the really keen face. I can't even describe him. All of them are the kind of creative artist, kind of, I don't even know how to describe him. That's him right there, though. But he wrote a lot of the songs. They said he's really involved in the early career of Destiny's Child. That's Dwayne Wiggins. He passed away. I heard he was in hospice last week. They're just saying illness, so I'm not sure what caused it. But Dwayne Wiggins of Tony was only 64 years old, everybody. He just got his wings, just like Angie Stone, 63. So isn't that something? 2 Gen Xers in a week. When I think about heaven, I think about the choir that is up there. I think about jam sessions and things like that. I was watching the Tina Marie and Rick James when they were doing Fire and Desire. And then he passed. She came back a year later and she paid tribute to him. And her speech was almost like poetry. She does kind of like the fast beat type poetry. But I always think about that. People that are in heaven kind of going around and listening to different musical acts, maybe them jamming together. I don't know. But yeah, Tony, rest in peace to Dwayne Wiggins. I know they had toured recently. Capricorn Flower, he was a nice looking man. That's what we call 90s fine. I love the look of a lot of the guys in that day. It's funny, I have a niece. She's only 17, but she's into all type of 90s type stuff. And she's into New Edition and Jodeci and all of that. She said, I can't believe that y'all were around during that time. Yeah, and it was a time. It was a good time. It really was. A lot of talent. Ugh. Here's something I hate to report, but I will. This is the unelected South African. He's a Gen Xer as well. He turned 53 years old today. Oof. And guess what? Another one of his spaceships blew up. This happened a year and a half or so ago. So it says another failed launch from Elon and SpaceX. So it blew up and there was actually debris. Okay, it says breaking. SpaceX Starship, that's what it's called. Starship explodes, causing the FAA to halt flights at 4 major airports. The previous Starship also exploded. That was in January. So that people are speculating that's why he can't stand the FAA. You know, he's tried to gut the FAA. And we've seen all these incidents ever since this man has been given this unofficial power by the Orange Clown. I have some flying coming up. A lot of the ladies do. I know all of you do. Angela A travels all the time. We just have to stay prayed up and be bold, not be afraid. Because I think air safety, that's something that even the Republican cowards that they are, they can't let that be gutted, even if they're quietly bringing people back to work. And it's not so quietly. There's a lot of people that have been let go that are being called back. There were a few thousand CDC employees. That's the Centers for Disease Control, because there's an outbreak of the measles in Texas. Can you believe that? Diseases that we had eradicated, other than people that might be allergic to certain vaccines. Mainly, this is a population that was vaccinated. And now with some of the homeschools and people with all these different beliefs, a lot of people are now exposed to things that we hadn't been. So that's scary. I'm going to read some of the comments. Oh, thank you, Mama Bees. We on point. She complimenting y'all on point. 17 likes and 17s in the chat. Woo woo. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. The likes help. They said it puts me in the algorithm and help people know that I'm live and they'll stop by. So that you know that there had to be something to what this guy was doing. There's a method to his madness, and it is madness. I'm just shocked that the Republicans, are actually letting him get away with that. And Democrats gonna have to step up too. They're gonna have to step up. Somebody put in another message from Kamala Harris. They better leave this lady alone. She she put a nice Valentine's Day message, and they did the same thing. Yeah, every time she posts, they start saying, "Kamala, help us! We need you. Save the democracy." If I were her, I would just get off of social media. But she shouldn't have to. She's a private citizen. She thinking about that. She has been in public life for a long time because before she was a VP, she was a senator from California. Then she was the attorney general. Then she held whatever the highest office in San Francisco. I think it was an attorney general too. I'm not sure, or lead prosecutor or something. But she's been in public life a long time. She deserves to rest. Hey, Cynthia Christian, welcome to the chat. Cynthia Christian is speaking to everyone. Oh, Linda Gann was telling me Tony was here in Central Texas last summer for the Juneteenth celebration. Oh, Linda Gamble, I heard they put on an amazing show too. And you told me New Edition was coming. We're gonna look into that because Juneteenth, that's where I think they would have the biggest events in Texas because that's where Juneteenth began. Oh, you took pics with them last year? Oh, that must have been so much fun. I heard they're great with their fans. 90s artists, when you can get around them, they do have a great relationship with their fans, especially the ones that are still touring and still working today. That's part of the reason why my sister and niece and I, we love New Edition so much. Their fans really love them. Even when we went down to Aruba, it was almost like a homecoming. You start seeing they had this group. It's a fan club. It's the Candy Girls. And they're fanatics. They're dressed up like they're 14 years old. Some of them even want a cane, but they still have the way we used to dress back then. And they get those are VIP tickets that they have because they're always right at the front of the stage. And you can see the guys recognizing people, knowing people. My sister and niece, they have colorful hair, so they're really recognizable. So I know when they go down front, they get recognized. So, but I need to bring, we had jackets that had white on it that you could have written on, but I never think to hand my stuff up and get signatures, but I'm going to start doing that. Gail King, sit down, man. What's Gail King doing now? I'm going to have to look her up, Linda Gamble. Yeah, Reinvest, that is nice. Mama B says 400 million of federal funds went to Tesla this month. Mama B's this month. And a lot of people they're embarrassed to drive those Teslas now. It used to be a status symbol. And now they have a note in the window and stuff like, I bought this before I knew he was crazy. And then people were trying to vandalize some of the places where they're kept. I wouldn't go that far, but I wouldn't drive one either. I saw Dr. Jackie still had one on one of the Married to Medicine episodes. But Dr. Jackie's not politically correct, I'm sure. Nothing she did would surprise me. Church 612 said they actually appreciate their fans. Yeah, they do. I've heard the same thing about Escape. They put up a Mother's Day show. It's going to be a lot of 90s acts, a lot of Gen X's type act. Blackstreet, Escape. I can't think of everybody else, but they have a lot of people for the and Mother's Day's, that's in May. That's coming up quick. Church 612 says, next time I'm bringing mine. I was right there in their face. Yeah, I saw Ronnie take somebody's and sign it. And then I saw that some ladies always have the, I wish we still had our albums. I think my mother threw away some of the stuff. Because sometimes if we didn't clean up, she would get so impatient and she would just throw stuff away. Because we had actual albums. And a lot of the stuff I cannot find and we should still have. T. Lee's laughing. We should still have. I don't believe in throwing kids' stuff away. But our room sometimes would be a wreck. Our father would go in there and clean. My mother used to always get on him. Don't clean that room. That's for them to do. But he was a very immaculate, orderly person, and he just couldn't take it. We could take it. We didn't mind. And that's something, my spring cleaning this year is going to be intense. I have a lot of things that I need to, if I'm no longer using, I'm going to pack up. I'm going to give it away. I've been really good. I have not been shopping. So it wasn't just February 28th. I was not shopping. I had an appointment today. And when I got out, I just went in TJ Maxx for some reason, and I was like, I don't need anything in here, and I left. I didn't buy anything, and the store wasn't crowded either, y'all. So a lot of people, they haven't really picked back up shopping now. Groceries and stuff like that, of course, but you don't really need to be out here buying stuff. And this economy, he's crashing this economy on purpose, in my opinion, allegedly, and in my opinion. Okay, let me see. I had another.
Get ready with Auntie. So if you look like me, I know that you've had the experience sometimes.
I was gonna cover that, but then this lady was complaining that she was the only black lady in her oh Lord. She was the only black lady in her Pilates class or something. What I'm doing now, I'm not putting myself in spaces where I'm gonna be uncomfortable or one of. I don't even know it's that safe to do that anymore. I really don't know. Okay, let me see. There was another one. Okay, I already went over SpaceX. Oh, this was funny. You know, Mardi Gras went on earlier in the week. I'm gonna let you see who this is. I'm gonna let it run through again, y'all. I tell you who that is if you don't know him. That's Miss Landrew. He's the mayor. Well, he was the mayor of New Orleans. He went to a. I'm gonna go back. Yeah. The city ain't been right. Oh, I was going to let him go. I wanted to start it all over, but where they caught him? They caught him going up to the Zulu. The Zulu crew had some kind of Hennessy truck. So the former mayor of New Orleans went up there and got him a drink. He stirred a drink with his finger, and the lady was teasing him that they ain't been right since he left. So I thought that was really funny. You know, his sister was a senator, Mary Landrew. She was a senator from Louisiana for years. But I always loved Mitch Landrew. He's got that real New Orleans accent. I love the way he speaks, and then the way he is with people. He was always really cool. TNTG Mom, it's good to see you. Thank you for dropping down in the chat. Drop the T. Drop the T was in here. Hey, Drop the T. How are you doing? You early. How are you? I'm glad to see you in here. TNTG Mom is speaking to everyone. Cynthia Christian, Mama B, Sharon Gobbo, Reen Bash. She's telling everyone hello. But let me go back to what I was talking about. Queen Sheba ended up covering Marquez. She had been talking about gatekeepers and things like that. So that was a popular interview. I watched, I think, part one. I didn't watch the rest of it. But I know she brought a therapist in. He has now been fired. And Carlos King, I'm not sure if he said why he has fired him or anything like that. But I was speaking about earlier, when he did that interview on Fox Soul. Fox Soul was the show that Claudia Jordan had. Now, she had her Cocktails with Divas with Vivica Fox, herself, Selena Johnson, and Lisa Ray. So that was fine. She had the women on there. But then she had her own separate thing, which I didn't think was smart, and it turned out not to be. She ended up outnumbering herself on her own thing, trying to be the only one, the only woman. So she's surrounded by Al Reynolds, Funky, and then they were interviewing with Carlos King. And Funky and Carlos are friends. They had all this, eye contact and innuendo that they like to do behind people's back. And Claudia is just Claudia, but she ended up losing that whole show. And they said she was making like $250,000 a year. And Funky now, he's back on YouTube doing his thing. He got a ton of people over there. Al didn't really grow like he should have. I don't care for Al myself. I just found him to be deceptive, especially because of what he did to Star. And then now he has the nerve not to want anybody to talk about it. So I don't like Al Reynolds. I don't like Al Reynolds at all. And Carlos, in my opinion, and also Funky, are instrumental in a lot of the trouble that we see, not only in the YouTube streets, but over on some of the reality shows. Like, we're always fussing at Dr. Heavenly from Married to Medicine. And now she's online saying things like, I'll put my producer hat on. They just released the looks for the reunion. And a lot of people didn't like Sweet Tea's look. I thought it was cute. She has a short dress and some kind of cover with it. And I think it was a green. It was pretty on her. She's a pretty lady, but Dr. Heavenly goes live and starts making fun of this girl's dress. And she doesn't even have her wig on, y'all. She still got her straight backs in, and they're not even neat and new. And she got the nerve to be talking about somebody else. But I think that she speaks to Funky, she considers a friend, because, in my opinion, he was instrumental in Quad and Mariah and getting Mariah off of her Married to Medicine. But that's what they do. Certain ones, they're in this back behind the scenes trying to run everything. And then people like Heavenly is willing to be a mouthpiece and say things that they don't have the guts to say, or that they can't say without severe backlash. Because Funky used to get in a lot of trouble on Fox Soul. And I haven't liked him in a lot of years. I used to find him funny, and then it crossed over to kind of a cruelty, especially against Black women, which I don't support when I determine that that's what's going on. Like when he attacked the little Bailey sister. They're not little Bailey sisters, they're in their 20s now, but I didn't like that. Calling Chloe Bailey is not ugly at any stretch of the imagination. You're not cute without makeup. He talked about that girl like a dog just because the sister didn't reveal her pregnancy. And she shouldn't have. That's nobody's business. How's a Disney princess going to reveal a pregnancy? So that he got on my nerves with that. Hey, One Crafty Sister, it's good to see you. Thank you for stopping down in the chat. Mom 59 works. She's shaking her head at Tesla's info. Yeah, that is a mess. That is a mess. I covered a lot of different topics, a lot of diverse topics. But that's how I read the news. When I'm reading, things will just pop in and I'm interested in it. So the only thing I have to do now, I have to finish catching up on my shows so that I can do my reviews, which is Traders. So I know Mama Bees is watching Traders. Capricorn Flower, did you say you were watching Traders as well? I have a few people in here that watch Survivor. They had a good episode this past week also. And let me see where I'm at as far as time. Oh, okay. I'm doing good. I'm 37. I try to get a good, I call it good 30 in, but it's Friday night. I got a little more than 30 minutes in, so that's really good. And I think we're going to wrap this up. Let me see if I have, if I can find, there is one more kind of a palate cleanser. It made me laugh when I saw it. Let me see if I can find it really fast. It's going to make everybody laugh. Okay. And everybody, if you don't follow Sierra, go follow Sierra. Okay. I think I can play the music. This is her on the, she's down in Trinidad, Tobago. They're having carnival. Okay, let's see her. Look at her whining. Okay, that's on the street. The young lady's with her. So I guess she's some kind of grand marshal or something. But let me turn this down. So the funny part of that was the people were in there like, oh, CC, you whining, you whine your waist, you're an official Trini now, you're having a good time or whatever. And then other people were in there, okay, we're just waiting for Russell's thirsty comments. And so Russell gets down in there and said that's his, her husband, Russell Wilson. He said that's his mating call. He said that's my mating call. Let me see if I can find his actual comment. There's too many more under there. He said that's his mating call and that Cinco is on the way. Child number 5. They have 4 kids already. Well, she had Little Future already, but they have 4 children. So I think they're so cute together. They're one of my favorite celebrity couples. I think they're adorable. So the people in the comments are complimenting her and all of that. They're not any haters down there. She used to have a lot of haters because she had the nerve to get remarried to someone who really loved her and took her son on as his own son. And they're such a gorgeous family. So I love Sierra and Russell Wilson. They're adorable together. That new couple alert they're showing us, I don't know, is that a movie poster? Tiana Taylor and Aaron Pierre, y'all think that's real? They're gorgeous together, I tell you that. But the pictures look so staged. I don't know if that's real or not. But if they're in anything together, I tell you what, I'll be right there. I'll go to that movie. If it is a movie. That's another one. I think she's going through a divorce, or maybe she's already divorced. I used to love her and Amon together. I thought they were so cute. And then we find out he was just a rich Dusty with a big old contract. Didn't want to pay no bills. Tried to let their lights and everything get turned off just because he was jealous. Tiana's that girl. Will New Edition be in concert this summer? Drop the T, they will. I'm gonna find out what dates they have. Linda Gamble told me that they're gonna be at Juneteenth in Texas, so I have to find out where. But the residency, I think the church did the residency end. The residency just ended. But next time, since I know that you want to go to one, I will tell you either if they extend their residency again or like more about the Juneteenth. Mama B says it was the finale. Okay, I have to watch that finale. And then I saw what looked like reunion pics. It looked like Chanel Ayan was getting on to Bob the Drag Queen a little bit. So I have to watch that so I can laugh. Church 612 says, I hope so. They finished Vegas. Oh, we've seen them twice in Vegas last year and once this year, but I'm ready again. Yeah, that's my sister. That's who I actually went with. That's one of my concert buddies, and then my niece. But drop the T, I'll definitely let you know. So Linda Gamble told me about the Juneteenth new edition date, and then we'll see what else they're doing. They like to do a lot of casino dates too. They just had one in California. I can't remember the city, but they were at a casino not too long ago. Yeah, they ended the residency, but they added these. Oh, I was gonna end this. It's 40, and then Sierra was the last post. So that was cute. I was asking about this. Is this real or is this a movie poster? I guess when you're that good looking, anything you do might look like a movie poster. But that's Aaron P. Yeah, that's Mufasa with Tiana Taylor. Go ahead, Tiana. I'm happy for her. Him too. Because she seems cool. Always like Tiana. She's always been a hard worker. But thank you for dropping down into my live. Thank you for stopping by Sandra P's Gen Extra. And if you are not already subscribed, please subscribe. I don't have another live schedule until 7 p.m. Tuesday, but I am going to do a live for traders once I finish that. So I will schedule that in advance. So the people that watch traders, I hope will join me and we could talk about it a little bit. And then also down in the comments. And thank you so much for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra for, I guess, Friday Night Live. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Thank you. Goodbye.